So Wentworth Woodhouse, it was a private house until the Trust took it on in 2017. We are now a destination for everyone, for the public. We're a community trust that have taken this on. We're a building preservation trust with the community at our heart. We are developing the site for people to come and enjoy the landscape and enjoy the architecture in the buildings. And there's always something new and exciting happening here, and will be for the next 20 years as we carry on with our development programme.
As we started, we got a building that wasn't fit for use. It was falling down, it being left unmaintained for years and years, and we're part of the process putting this building back to life and back to use as it was originally 200 years ago as a tea room.
We got plans for the Camellia House that didn't really take into account the camellias as the focal thing, and I think nature has a funny way of working, and nature, made us realise actually these are the crown jewels. This is what this building needs to be focused around. Even if we're giving it a new use, those camellias are actually the most significant and important part of that building.
The project moved on, and I suppose as head gardener it was my responsibility to find out what these 19 trees were. Were they just uninteresting, very interesting? The word was out from the experts at Chiswick House, and they were amazed that they didn't know of a collection of this age still existed in the middle of what was essentially an industrial heartland, coal mining, steel, hard industry. And these were still here in the original building that was built for them.
Now the camellias have been there for 250 years and battled through all different sorts of conditions, and they're the great old ladies of our site, really.
Obviously the trees can't be moved, they can't be replanted elsewhere, and they are quite valuable. They're obviously 200 years old, imported into the country. So we had to make sure that we protected them during the works.
It was until this crash deck that I realised just how dark. It was a bit like sliding doors. Do you live in a world where we did nothing and we crossed our fingers, or do we live in a world where we look for lighting and go down that road? This is a strange period. They probably never had quite so much light in all their life.
They're thriving, they're really doing really well under that light, and it's been a critical part of this project to really maintain their health. And not only have we maintained it, but they're doing great guns.
Once these lights come down, I then repurpose them for the propagation units, which we then create the new generation of 200-year-old camellias, which form part of our fundraising for the house and the regeneration and the continuation. So there's no reason these can't be here in 500 years. It's amazing how using technology can bring historic environments to life. It's not one or the other, it's marrying the two together. And when you see how we're a changing world, we may end up with a climate that just isn't viable for one thing or another. So we maybe have to use certain aspects of supplementary lighting to grow our crops, to continue with our ornamental plants. So I think having that as a tool in our kit.
The way assets survive is through people being in them, working in them, playing in them, visiting them. They don't survive. You can put millions of pounds into buildings, but if there's no people there, it will never work. I'd like to think in 250 years' time, it's still here, there's still lots of people here that is doing new things, innovative things that we never even imagined or thought of, but that the community is still at its heart.